This is an ad for Roundup Weed and Grass Killer with Sure Shot Wand. It kills weeds down to the root, so they don't come back. It works for you, your neighbor's neighbor, and his neighbor's neighbor. It's Roundup Weed and Grass Killer with Sure Shot Wand. When used as directed, always read and follow pesticide label directions.
On today's episode, LB has a pain in her vagus nerve. Hey, don't call me Nanny. And who did the dicks? All that and more on today's episode of Bad Advice with Lori Beth Denberg. A lost episode.
Help me out, almighty Lori Beth Denberg. Give me the vital information so I get the red thoughts to do, yeah. The church of Lori Beth is in session and we're reading from the scriptures of vital information. Talking my goddess and my savior, my LBT. Just tell me what's going on with me. Oh, my goddess and my savior, my LBT. Just tell me what's going on with me.
Hello, one and all. My name is Lori Beth Denberg, and welcome to the Bad Advice Podcast.
Woo!
With me, as always, is Clark Crozer.
Hello.
Hello, Clark.
How are you doing?
I'm drying off.
Yeah, right.
It has been, Clark and I live in Los Angeles,
Yep.
Los Angeles, California.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
And we have had what seems like an unprecedented, I'm sure it's not unprecedented, but a days-long hard rain.
Yeah, I believe this is called a deluge.
It's oh man, El Nino. It was, before I got to, Clark is really lucky he has a pool at his home.
Yeah.
And before I even came in to say hi to him, I came in the front door and I go, I want to see how full your pool is from the rain. It was, it was just wonderful. Whenever it rains, I'm like really grateful.
Oh, yeah.
Because our entire state is just crispy and dry and just catches on fire.
Yeah.
We catch on fire. I don't know if I said this when I was in Vermont and all the stuff they have to do for winter.
Oh,
It's not they all have two sets of tires.
Oh,
winter and not winter.
Right.
And, like all of this stuff, the guy that I was staying with, Matt, was like, I have to wrap my pipes in this wire so they don't freeze. And I was like, that's nothing I ever have even known. It's like a whole job to get ready for winter.
Exactly.
Whereas here, and then I'm seeing the knickknacks on his shelf, and I'm like, do they have that sticky stuff? Because when the earthquake comes,
you glue down all of your items?
Yeah. And then, here we just are in the mindset of earthquakes, and then the brush fires. What are they called?
Yeah, like wildfires.
Wildfires,
yeah.
Thank you. Wildfires burns everything. Then it rains a little. Then we get the mudslides. Like that's our
circle of life.
Yeah, exactly. So when we got just all this rain, it was wonderful.
And then not only does my backyard have a nice pool, but I also have this crazy fun 70s jacuzzi
You do.
sunroom that's like all plexiglass.
Yes.
But that is fun. Like this, when it's raining, you get nice little bundled up. You sit in a chair in that little jacuzzi room.
Yep.
The rain's coming all around you. It's pretty awesome.
Yes, it's very good. And it was great for everyone except the red dogs.
Oh, no.
The red dogs were like the younger one who's just, oh my God, he's so cute and he's so handsome and he's so sweet and he's so naughty.
Oh, no.
But he was like stir crazy, extra naughty.
Oh, no.
Because he peed on my friend's bed.
Oh,
like things that just don't happen. Because he was just stir crazy.
Yeah.
And I always think about, because and dear listeners, that I was a pet sitter and dog walker for years.
Yeah.
And so I always think of my dog walker friends when it is not a good day to be a dog walker in the rain or in the extraordinary heat.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about like pouring one out for them. But this poor dog, and you want to just be like, oh. But I go, he's stir crazy.
Does he hate going out does he not like being in the rain?
He goes out. His sister does not like going out in the rain.
Oh, okay.
His sister is like, Meow.
See, because my dogs, they don't like being in the rain, but if they have to go to the bathroom, they'll suffer. They'll go out. They'll go to potty in the backyard.
Yeah.
And then they'll come back a little wet, but they'll do their business. My parents' dog, he won't go out in the rain. Like,
oh, buddy.
They have to deal with him peeing inside because he just will refuse to get wet out there.
Puppy.
So
yeah, so there was some stir crazy dogs.
Yeah.
And I am having, this is so not on topic or anything, but I'm having this huge sciatica, painful flare up.
Oh no.
But I think, which I always kind of have it. I'm not in the greatest shape.
Right.
But it's always there and kind of dull, but like it's been really flaring up. But I think that it is the result of a true LB moment.
Oh no.
Because I was at Christmas dinner with some friends.
Okay.
And their house has just like little levels and stuff. So I was walking and just didn't know there was a step there.
Oh no.
And so fell over it like hard.
Oh.
I was really concerned I was going to take down the tree, but I didn't. I fell right into where the tree and all the presents were.
Oh no.
Luckily I didn't do that. But if you spend 48 hours with me, you will see me fucking wipe out or faceplant.
Wait, was this a step up that you missed or a step down?
No, a step up that I missed.
Oh, so you really did trip right over that step.
It was classic LB.
Oh no.
There's been a few that are really great, including one where I was in Santa Monica house sitting, and my ex-boyfriend was inside cooking or something, and I walked up to the front door, missed the step, and like fucking hit the door so hard.
No.
It was like the slapstickiest slapstick, except it was real.
Wait, what kind of a door? Just a regular door? Or was it like a glass door?
Oh, no, it was not a glass door.
Okay, that would be
my jugular stayed intact. No, just a big, hardy front door.
Oh, no.
And it was like, and then I got in there, and my ex is like, what was that noise? And I go, what do you think it was?
Why is there an impression of your face on the front door?
It was me falling down again. Unaided by alcohol, by anything. I just, like, once a month, probably, just wipe out.
Okay, so wait, question about old pre-rehab LB.
Yes.
When you were getting drunk, were you falling more or less?
Less. When I was using, I just was swift on my feet.
What?
Yeah. No, it had nothing. Like, I'd be high and just kind of flit around like a ballerina who is a butterfly.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, no, this is just me. I think I try to do things too quickly.
Okay.
And then I'm just like,
right.
But it's like my whole leg is sore, a little bruised, and then the sciatica thing flared up. So I'm like, oh no.
Oh, that sounds so painful.
Which made, we're going to talk about my trip to Vegas.
Oh, right.
It made my trip to Vegas a little worse, but it was already horrible.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, I will say that I went to Vegas. I think we might have talked about it.
Yeah.
I went to Vegas to officiate a wedding.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now.
Officiated the wedding for this wonderful couple. They're so sweet and happy and in love. They've been together a long time already. So it wasn't like, oh, good luck.
Right.
But
not your typical Vegas wedding, you're saying.
Exactly. You guys met, today. Okay. But they were just so sweet, and their family was sweet. It was a very small, intimate thing.
Well, and you had to sign up with the FBI to get your
my God.
your license to marry them.
Nevada just made it incredibly difficult to get
God.
to be able to marry them as a non-resident.
Right.
Yeah. So
Because they care so much about weddings.
Yeah,
and
I don't
the
know.
sanctity of marriage in Vegas.
They care about money. Yeah. But so it was already this whole rigmarole to get it done, and we got it done.
Okay.
So I was, legally allowed to marry them.
Good.
But yeah, Vegas just in general. You will never hear me. I know you and your wife Karen like to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
And she like hooks it up so that when you go to Vegas, they owe you money.
It's true. My wife is amazing.
She just was like, oh, if we do this like survey, then we get a free night and blah, blah, blah. But you will never hear me go like, let's go to Vegas.
Right.
Let's go to Vegas. Although at the end of this story, you will see something.
Okay.
So it's just all the people and like really shoddy customer service because nobody wants to, is it nobody wants to work or nobody wants to pay a decent wage?
Yeah,
so there's
exactly.
like 2.5 people there to check in the 92 people waiting and all those kiosks to like, check yourself in, which like don't work.
Right.
And then everyone's mad and they're like, well, this isn't working to like the one chickie who's like
already dealing.
I'm the only one they let work.
Oh,
so
God.
it was just kind of overall and it's just a nightmare, like all the people and most people wore their masks.
Okay, good. I was going to ask.
Yeah, most people I saw were wearing their masks. There was only one time that I was going up an elevator to my room and there was this couple who wasn't masked waiting for the elevator. So I just pretended I had something to do around the corner.
Good.
And then let them go up. And then I even went up with other people who were wearing masks.
Of course.
Because that just tells me how little care they take in general.
Yeah, exactly.
They could just be breathing their herpes on me.
They're probably the assholes that hit all the buttons for the elevator going up, too.
So it was, it was a lot. I did all the things I was supposed to. Not everything. We talked a long time ago about quote unquote my trip to Vegas.
Yeah.
Which includes a show and a movie and a buffet and all that kind of stuff. This was a very quick turnaround. I was there to marry this couple. They're so great. Their family was so great.
Well, and it was in the middle of all of the holidays.
Yeah.
And this was not like you had tons of free time.
Yeah. It was very kind of quick in and out. And I just loved these kids. They're kids to me.
Yeah, of course.
But and they're like family and it was really nice. But the only thing I wanted to do, and we did speak about this last time, was when at the end of everything, when I was ready to leave, I went to the Pinball Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
I went back to the Pinball Hall of Fame, which had changed locations and was grander than ever.
Wow, that's cool.
And I went there specifically to play Lord of the Rings Pinball.
Okay.
And I walk in, it's the first one that's like right in front of the door.
They were ready for you.
Exactly, but this woman was playing.
Oh, no.
So I had to do that weird hover thing.
Right. Well, wait a minute. You weren't probably fully aware of arcade culture. Did you put your quarter on the glass?
I did not put my quarter on the glass.
Oh, okay.
I did not do that, but I did sit. I felt so torn. This is the kind of person I am. Like, I think I spoke about when I was in Vermont and my friends were drunk and yelling at Alexa. Yes. And I was like, hey. And she goes, it's a robot. I'm like, but still. So I was a little torn because this woman was playing and she had like a little cup that had a decent amount of quarters in it.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, part of me is like, I hope she loses.
Right.
But then I felt bad about that. But then she got a replay and I was like, oh, God damn it. But eventually, it was not that long. I did spend 75 cents on playing the Simpsons pinball, which was right there.
Okay, there's a couple of those.
There is a couple of one. This is one I've played before. I'm not good at it.
Oh, okay.
I've never been good at it. Really, Lord of the Rings is just what I play. So she did, she left. And I felt better because she had this whole cup of quarters. But then presumably her son came over and just took a little handful.
Oh, sure.
I'm like,
sure.
You take that money from mom.
Yeah, there you go.
So I did get on the machine and played and got a couple free, replays. And at the end, what's weird? For those of you who don't know anything about pinball and also don't care, I'm going to keep talking about it. at the end of the game, you get a number, and then the machine gives you a number. And if
right.
they
If it
match,
you get an extra
you get
life.
you get a replay.
Yeah.
And they never match.
Never.
I played for an hour. It matched twice.
What?
So I played for an hour. I went in there. I spent $3.
Okay.
And I played for an hour.
Oh my
which
God.
was better than
$3?
on $3. I'm good at that machine, man.
Damn.
And although I did not fare as well as usual, because I was so like Vegas and anxious and all this kind of stuff that this is why I left, because I was like, when I would lose, I'd be like, come on. And I'm like, that's not what I want this to be.
Right.
So I did leave after an hour after spending $3, which is better than the $40 I lost in the casino.
Okay.
Which at one point in the casino, and I just do the slot machines.
Okay.
So at if I sit down at a table, it's like, can I give you my money now? And we don't have to go through this charade. But at one point I had doubled my money.
Wow.
I just hit one thing and it was like $80.
Holy shit.
And of course I was like, I should cash out.
Nah.
And it's kind of like, it's set up for this. That's how it works. And
Yeah.
they get all your money.
Exactly.
But shout out to the bartender.
Wait, the bartender in the casino?
In the casino.
Okay.
So I go up to him to the bar and I go, can I get a Shirley Temple? Because I don't drink.
Right.
And I'm 8 years old.
Right.
And he goes, it's $6.50 for a Shirley Temple. And I go, yeah, that's okay. I thought he's just saying like,
Right.
And he goes, well, are you sure? And I'm like, are you trying to talk me out of it? Like he doesn't want to overserve me or something. And he says, are you gambling? Then I understood what he said. He said, are you gambling? And I said, yeah. And he goes, the girls will come by. Like the chickies.
girls, and then you just have to tip them.
Yeah. So I did that. And but that's how they get you too. Well, I ordered my drink. I have to wait for it.
Yeah.
So I just sat there and played for an hour until my $40 was gone. And I did some people watching and whatever. But then, an hour for $3 at the Pinball Hall of Fame is better.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I've been also saying over the past few weeks that I am kind of desperately thinking, like, I really want to get a pinball machine.
Yes.
I really want one for the house. So I joined a group on Facebook that's like pinball sales and traders and that kind of stuff. And it's really cool. It's heartbreaking because I don't have the money to get a pinball machine right now. I'm thinking about starting to save. So
should we do a GoFundMe?
A GoFundMe. So I'm seeing all of these people post there like, oh, I'm gonna sell my Simpsons cabinet, or I'm gonna sell my this one or that one. I saw the other day that they made a Tron. You know how there was a Tron sequel?
Yes.
They made a Tron sequel pinball machine.
Oh.
And I'm like, the whole point of Tron is that you're going into the game.
Yes.
And that it's an arcade game. Like the whole movie was about it being
an arcade game. Pinball machine.
It's a Tron pinball machine. And I'm like, I think that there's a spin-off movie here.
You go to the pinball machine, you just get murdered by balls.
It's just balls constantly.
Oh my goodness.
Being shot around people for 2 hours.
I like it.
Right?
It's like dodgeball with death.
with large metal balls.
Oh my goodness. So as much as Vegas was a fucking nightmare aside from this wonderful family and their wedding, and they were really happy with the ceremony, and they made, in my ceremonies, I tell the whole story of the couple, and they made it easy. They were just sweet and lovely. But aside from that, it was awful. But I will be driving back to Vegas. I don't know when. To go to the Pinball Hall of Fame.
Okay.
I will drive 4.5 hours.
Just to go back to that pinball.
Just to play pinball. I might take a friend of mine with me who we spent a lot of time, right when I was just getting sober, we spent a lot of time with the Lord of the Rings pinball machine.
Okay.
But I was like, this is worth it. This is a day trip.
That's awesome.
So I will be returning to Vegas, but not to Vegas.
Right. Wow, I love that.
Anyway, I've been talking about pinball for 29 years.
You have, but that's okay. We do have a couple of people that need your help.
Okay.
So let's bring them up here and see if we can help them out. So first on the docket is possibly a friend of yours. This is, somebody by the name of Julie.
Julie.
And Julie says, "Hey, Lori Beth. Thanks again for performing our son Tanner's wedding to Jessica.
Oh my God!
The next day, our other son, Chase, and wife Bethany told us they are pregnant and we will be grandparents. They didn't want to tell us until after the wedding so as not to divert the attention. My question to you is, what should my grandmother name be? I'm thinking about something with my name, but I'd love your advice." That's Julie.
This is the mother-in-law from the Vegas wedding.
From this wedding?
Yes.
There you go, see?
And she was so awesome. She was wearing this strapless dress, and she was like, I don't know. And they're all from Texas.
Okay.
So she's like, I don't know. I'm showing a little too much.
Oh, no.
And I was like, what kind of Texas wedding would it be if you weren't upstaging the bride? And then I had my friend with me, my friend Stacey Elise. And of course, as we know from this show, as soon as I'm talking to someone with an accent, I have the accent.
Yeah.
And it was like immediate.
Oh, no.
And she was just shaking her head. My friend, like, you're doing it again. And I was like, I can't. She's like, it's so interesting. But she also made it sound like it was like really hurting her, like, she hated it so much it was hurting her feelings.
Oh, God.
And I was like, okay, I can't help it.
Yeah, exactly.
But Julie was oh my God.
Yeah, so she has a question. She's going to be a grandma.
She was, congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I'm so tripping out that, like, I was just talking about this.
Exactly.
I'm glad I said how much I love the family.
Right.
Jesus. So, okay. Grandma, grandpa,
Right.
old school.
Right.
There's Nana.
Right.
There's Nana and Papa.
Yeah.
There's a why. Well, let's talk about, because when Lex was born,
Yes.
that's a whole thing. What are we going to be called?
Yep.
And originally, it was going to be Grammy and Papa,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
It's Clark's parents, Lex's grandparents.
Yes.
So if I recall, and you can fill in the blanks,
Mhm.
it was a real problem because he could say Papa
Very soon.
easily.
Very quick.
And they had this, I mean, they still have this incredible bond.
Yeah.
But he could not say Grammy.
Yeah.
He couldn't get it.
Yep.
Grammy. And at one point, Clark was like, it's hurting their relationship.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about
Yeah.
that?
So she was getting upset. She felt a little, she knew it wasn't personal. He was an infant at the time. But it was hard for her because she loved spending time with him.
Yeah.
And here's Papa getting all this Papa attention. And, it made her feel a little jelly. And she wanted to have that, relationship and that connection.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Lex was like, I sincerely apologize because you feel our relationship isn't going well.
Right. And I feel like he got, the closest he ever got was like a gah.
Yeah.
Something like that. And it was like he tried, it just wasn't coming out.
Yeah.
And he did pick up something though.
Yeah.
Which was, he said Mimi. He said me.
Me. Like
Me.
Grammy.
And then we were like, what about Mimi? As in like, oh, it's Mimi and Papa.
Yeah.
And then he immediately said Mimi. And so she's like, well, if he can say it, then, she had to think about it for a little bit, but she's like, I think I'm okay with Mimi.
Yeah.
And then that was it. She became Mimi.
Mimi and
Mimi and
Papa roll off the tongue.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then his great grandmother.
Yeah, my grandmother,
who's
so
known
Lex's
as
great-grandmother.
who's known as Nanny to us. Is now Gigi.
Yeah. Can I tell you, though, really quick, I know we're already running late, but she hates being called Nanny.
She does?
She does.
We've been calling her that for 80 years.
So here's what happened. She had my mom fairly young. I think she was like
12.
19 when she had the brother, and then 20 when she had my mom or something. And then my mom had me at like 20, 21 or something.
Oh.
So Nanny was probably in her early 40s.
Oh, no.
When she became a grandma, and she hated that she was a grandma in her 40s because
of course
she didn't want to be old. So
she wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. So she didn't want to be called grandma.
Yeah.
She said, like, no, that sounds like an old person.
Yeah.
So she said, just have him call me Nanny. But then, like, I don't know, 5 years go by, and then all of a sudden a brand new wave of grandchildren are born.
Yes.
And for that entire new wave of grandchildren, it was all grandma. Grandma, grandma, grandma,
no.
grandma, grandma. Everyone's grandma. I'm like the only person in the family
Really?
that still calls her Nanny, because that's how I've always known her. She was
Yeah.
always Nanny to me.
Off the air, Clark calls me Lori.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he knew me since
As a
I was
6-year-old.
Lori, as
Yeah.
a 6-year-old. Before I got to junior high, and I was like, I'm going to go by Lori Beth.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm exotic.
I'm fine calling you Lori Beth on the show.
Yes,
in front
he
of people.
works very hard.
I try to make sure
But
that
there are a few people that are grandfathered in or papaed in to calling me Lori, like my dad and you,
Yeah,
a couple people,
that's pretty much
Mrs.
it.
Plaisance.
Oh, and I do feel like Lex kind of sneaks in there because he calls
Yes.
you Auntie Lori.
He calls me Auntie Lori, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
He's grandfathered in as well.
So yeah, she didn't even want to be Nanny, but now I think she likes Gigi.
Yeah, Gigi
Gigi is a badass grandma name.
It is, and that's, well, great grandma.
Great grandma, yeah.
So that's what I kind of like to Julie's, question is like, because she said she does like her name. So it's like, if it was Grandma Julie,
yeah.
I might go with JJ, something like that, or even Gigi with the J.
Gigi would be good.
But he's with a, how do you spell that? It's J-I.
Gigi.
Keep your G away from me.
It's like two Jeeps.
Yes.
Gigi.
Jeep. But yeah, it's like grandma and grandpa are played out.
Absolutely.
And then also, if there are grandparents on the other side, you kind of want to break them up.
Right.
Like, that's part of the thing is like, if it's, Grandma Stephanie and Grandma Julie,
Right.
then both of those work together. So it's interesting to find out if there are parents on the others. Obviously, there might not be or whatever.
Right.
To be in cahoots a little bit. What are you going to be? But I do like Mimi and Papa.
I do too.
I do like me, especially, I know this woman. This is so, I can't believe I was just talking about it. So she
Right?
must have just written in.
Yeah, this was literally about less than 24 hours ago that I
because
got this.
I got back for their wedding was today is Thursday. Their wedding was Monday.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my mind is blown. Julie, I love you.
I do like the idea of Gigi Julie though.
Oh,
Gigi Julie. It sounds like Choo Choo Train.
Or Chia.
Or Chia.
Yeah, Gigi Julie.
Gigi Julie is just like, that's a cool grandma name.
Yes. Or Gigi or Juju.
Or yeah, but then now we're getting in a little dicey area.
Yeah.
Hey, Juju. Can you imagine
Juju. Exactly.
An 8-year-old in a mall just screaming out, Juju!
Yes. Yes. Says someone looking for a bargain.
Oh, God.
I know. Or Lily.
Lily.
Lily, that's a little weird. I wish Juju weren't a racial slur. Because that would be perfect.
Yeah, Juju.
But, Gigi I like because it's kind of like encompasses grandma.
And I know that technically, Nanny is using Gigi as great grandmother.
Yes.
But Gigi could just be a simplified Grammy.
Yeah.
Right? So it doesn't necessarily have to mean great grandmother.
Exactly. And then, we skipped right past the Nana.
Oh, right.
We skipped past Nana.
Nana.
Well, we went to Nanny to enjoy her horrible life. 42, looking for a man. Oh, you don't want to. I don't have any kids. Just some grandkids.
Just this kid that calls me Nanny.
And then her Tinder goes swipe. The Tinder that didn't
Oh,
exist.
70s Tinder.
Exactly.
I miss 70s Tinder.
So much bush. So Miss Julie, my most favoritist.
Yeah.
I love you so much. She did say to me when we were leaving the cake cutting, she goes, I just want you to know that I listen to your podcast and I love it.
Wow.
I was like, that's so sweet.
Oh, that's great.
So now you're part of the show.
Nice.
Not to steal, but like Mimi's a good one.
Yeah.
Gigi might work with your J name.
Yeah.
and consult the other grandparents if they are there to see what's going on. Julie, congratulations for reals on your upcoming grandbaby.
Yeah, very, very exciting.
This is an ad for Roundup Weed and Grass Killer with Sure Shot Wand. It kills weeds down to the root, so they don't come back. It works for you, your neighbor, your neighbor's neighbor, and his neighbor's neighbor. It's Roundup Weed and Grass Killer with Sure Shot Wand. When used as directed, always read and follow pesticide label directions.
This episode is brought to you by the first ever Toyota Corolla Cross.
All right, everyone, load up.
What are we listening to?
How about hip-hop?
Yeah.
Love it.
Nice.
What are we gonna eat?
I'm thinking tacos?
Yes,
Oh,
definitely.
yeah.
And where exactly are we going?
The beach?
Perfect.
Surf's up.
I'm thinking yes.
Love it.
When everything just feels right, that's the first ever Toyota Corolla Cross. Available with all-wheel drive, expansive cargo space, a stylish exterior, and more. Learn more at toyota.com.
But we're going to move on
Okay.
to another person, if that's okay with you.
Yes.
We have another person that's really, he needs so much help. And this person is Arnie.
Arnie?
Yeah, and Arnie says, my longtime friend, who I love, has been in a relationship with the same girl for about 15 years. I've had the same group of guy friends since we were in junior high, and we're all very close. She literally never comes when we get together with our wives. Occasionally, she'll show up for a holiday, and when she does, everybody is miserable because she always tries to stir the shit pot. We've always just let it go because I love my friend. He's been great to me, and I want to try to be supportive. But this woman is seriously hard to deal with. Now that my fiance and I are getting married, what I need to know is, do I have to invite her to my wedding?
Ugh. What a wedding-filled show.
I know. That's so true. I didn't even put that together. That's so funny.
Okay, this is Arnie.
Arnie.
So this is his friend's girlfriend or wife?
Yes, his friend's girlfriend.
His friend's girlfriend.
Yes.
Which it seems like they've been girlfriend and boyfriend for a long time, which is like, don't want to marry her?
Yeah, it's true.
I'm wondering, Arnie, if you've ever brought anything up to your friend.
Right.
Which I know is dicey, but
Yeah.
but I think we've had this before with a question about somebody's, it's like, she's just this way. I mean, are you
Right.
okay?
Right.
What do you get out of this?
Yes.
Does she have a golden vagina? If so, I understand. I always say that to the TSA because when I go through that thing, where clerks can
What?
be like, "Where's this going?"
when they're patting you down.
Yeah, well, because you go through that like zoom zoom, and you have to put your hands out.
Yeah.
So I think because I'm fat, like everything's, I don't have a thigh gap.
Right.
And then it's usually my shoulders, which I think is my bra strappy things. And like a lot of times, like my crotch, which this is a whole other subject, but then I am literally getting felt up in my, it's not like insertion, but it's like, this is not okay.
Yeah.
But often. So I always say I have a golden vagina.
Oh, no.
And they always laugh. That was a diversion from the story. I don't know, Arnie, if you've ever talked to your friend. I know that is a dicey situation.
Yeah.
I wish I knew in what ways this woman was awful.
Yeah.
But I would say if you want to be supportive of your friend, whatever you feel his relationship is with her, like, is he happy when he comes to stuff and she doesn't? Maybe you concoct like she won a contest to an all-female retreat or resort for the weekend of your wedding. That way, she has to go on it, and it's non-transferable, but your friend can't go because it's just for women.
This is a very, very important scheme.
Yes,
I like this scheme. This is a good scheme.
That costs you $10,000. You do, Arnie, unless you really reach out to your friend and explain things or ask about it, you invite this woman to your wedding. And then also we spoke It was something around Thanksgiving in the turkey,
Okay.
the mother-in-law's turkey.
Oh, yeah.
About being aggressive to passive aggressive.
Right,
So this is where I
right.
kind of wish I knew. Can I get invited to this wedding? Because I am really good at this.
It's true.
I'm like, I don't know you. Let me point out exactly why you're awful. And, you know, on the one hand, you want to be supportive of your friend. On the other hand, that doesn't mean you have to get treated like shit by a random yuck face.
Especially on your wedding
At your
day.
wedding, or even, I mean, just any of them.
Yeah.
If she's just awful to the whole group.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's a time to call that out.
Yeah.
And a wedding where maybe you've had one too many, or you've pretended to have one too many.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not, I'm not talking about really like getting in her face, like, you bitch, you ruin everything. Our friend we're trying to save him. But just that, it's what I talked about, you know, aggressive toward passive aggressive, like really pointing things out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's so great that you had to point out that you think the bridesmaid is fat. Your opinion is so important, especially today. Especially today.
Exactly.
Sandra, whatever. Her name is Sandra. In my story. I think that unless there is a conversation about this, she does get invited to the wedding.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want is for her to go, oh, I'm not invited. Well, you're not going either.
Exactly.
Which would be interesting in a way of like, does she have this guy's balls in her purse?
Right.
Or what the deal is.
Right.
If she is there, I just would encourage calling her out on stuff in a friendly way.
Yeah. Or, Arnie, if this is your wedding, that's not the moment. I don't know if that's your task.
No,
I
all
think
the friends.
that sounds more like a friend, or probably because Arnie, one of your best man is probably one of this friend group.
Yes.
That's best man duty.
Yes, and I'm picturing all of this.
Yeah.
Not during the ceremony.
No.
Like, does anybody object to this wedding? And someone's like, no, but our friend's girlfriend, I object to their thing. So can we talk about that? I'm not talking about during the ceremony. This is strictly a reception issue, because then she has a little time to be awful.
Yeah, exactly. The cocktail hour.
Yes. You
she
sit
could have
down,
the whole cocktail hour
you
to be
sit down
horrible.
at the table, exactly, and you just go, so you're awful, right? Bring it up in just this obvious way.
Yeah.
You know, where, and not like, you know, I really feel that your behavior is inappropriate. Like, not that. Just like really calling someone out on a specific something is like, catches them off guard.
Yeah.
And if she gets angry and leaves, fine.
Mm-hmm.
If she gets angry and makes your friend leave, that tells you whatever.
Yeah.
Because your friend, that's the other thing, is like, does your friend know she's awful or not? I hope that she's not nice and they're all just awful and she's black or something.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, what if this whole group are just awful people?
Horrible people, yeah.
And they're like, this girl. She's a
true.
Democrat.
Oh, God.
So,
God.
Arnie, good luck. If she's there, sick your friends on her, man.
Yeah.
You're
Get
not
a
going to be
plan.
at that table. You'll be at the lovebird table.
Exactly. But before we go any further, I think we need to do a little rotating segment of the week. And I'm excited because we have only done this one once and we're bringing it back. This is LB Tells You What to Like.
I'm excited. This is where I tell you about a show that I like that you should watch.
Yes.
And I just rewatched the entirety of this. It's 2 seasons. It's probably like 16 episodes.
And just so the audience out there understands, I also have not watched this, so I'm with the audience on this one.
This is me also
You're
telling Clark.
all of us about this.
This is what you need to like. It's on Netflix. It's called American Vandal.
Okay.
It is so good. It is so funny. It is so well done.
Oh.
It is a documentary about people making a documentary in a weird way.
Okay.
And it's a little bit based on Serial, the podcast.
Sure.
And they even mention that. But it's not a podcast. It's a show.
Okay.
And it is this fictitious high school in Oceanside, and somebody has vandalized all the cars in the teacher's parking lot by spray painting dicks on them.
Sure.
So throughout the whole thing, it's like, who did the dicks? And it's really funny and it's really well done. So you have these two kids from the high school, like, AV,
right,
the morning show.
Right.
And you have this kid who's a troubled kid. Everyone blames him. And he plays Dylan. He's the main, he's the accused.
The suspect.
The suspect, exactly. And he's been expelled and he's at home. But this guy, you have to be really smart to play dumb. And I have a feeling this guy is really smart because he is so funny. Everyone in this is so funny. And it's hard because they're being very naturalistic because it's a documentary.
Yeah.
But the acting is so good. It's so funny. And like throughout the whole seriousness of it, it's like, well, when Dylan draws dicks, there's ball hair, but the dicks on the cars don't have ball hair. So it's like all of this real like investigative, CSI stuff. But at the heart of it is like the mushroom tip is different. It's just really, really funny and really well done.
So wait, do they solve the crime by the end of the first season?
They solved the crime, and then it was like, how are they going to do a second season?
Yeah.
But they did at a different high school, a different thing.
Different actors?
Completely different cast, different city, different whatever. And that one is about the turd burglar.
Okay.
All of this sounds really lame, but it is so well done. It is so funny. And you should just watch it.
It almost sounds like a high school version of The Wire.
Yeah, a little bit.
Each season is about different group.
Yeah, there's that, and it's taken so seriously, but then there is actual, like, hurt and actual, consequences to stuff. There's actual human emotion involved as well. There's nothing funnier to me than talking about ridiculous stuff and just playing it so straight.
Oh, yeah, that's the best.
And that's like the whole of this. So I just really, really recommend American Vandal. Who did the dicks? You'll find out. Season 2. Who poisoned the lemonade to cause the great brownout?
Oh, God.
Where the whole school shit its pants. It sounds like it sounds, but it's amazing.
Are there any, like, named actors or anything in it?
No.
Nobody?
No. There's nobody that you would know. It really plays as just this kind of documentary. It's really good. It's really funny.
That's cool. I like that.
And they're half an hour. It's easy to watch.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
too.
It's just like half an hour. They're so good. This is from a few years ago.
Yeah, but still.
So definitely please watch it. It's so fucking good.
That's awesome. Okay, I'm down.
All right, then I have told you what to like.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And everyone, I recommend you watch American Vandal. Not sponsored by us.
No.
All right, let's move on, though. We do have one more question, LB.
Okay.
And,
is it about a wedding I did?
It is not about a wedding. Today's final question is 7 words long.
Okay.
So there isn't a lot to it, but I feel like there is a lot to it.
Okay.
And this question is from somebody that goes by the name Bandy Bear 22.
Bandy Bear.
And Bandy Bear.
Bandy Bear 1 through 21 were already taken.
Exactly. Bandy Bear 22 has a very simple question. How can I start the year positive?
I hope they don't mean positive for COVID.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah, this is, I see what you mean, Clark, by there's not a lot to it, and there's a lot to it. Especially for me, as funny as everyone thinks I am, an America's sweetheart, like, yes. I get mired in negativity. I get mired in old stuff and anger and like a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And
I think a lot of people really do, especially now. We live in a very cynical age.
Yeah. We were all like, I can't wait for 2021. Wait. Now it's like, well, what do you got, 2022?
Exactly.
There's no hope.
That's true.
And I'm not asking you for hope.
Right.
Because I don't wanna. But starting the year off positive is I'm working on that too. One of the things I'm doing is I was very diligently writing in a little journal every night. And the key word is little. It was a little journal and I had to write really little.
Oh, no.
And eventually, like I missed some days and eventually I was like, this is awful. Like, why am I trying to encapsulate my day on a grain of rice? So I got a new, bigger journal, which I'm going to start on the first of the year.
All right.
So this is actually a good time for us to reflect and see what to do. And my goal, as instructed by my therapist, I'm in therapy, everybody.
Yeah.
No surprise. Or hopefully you're all like, phew. All right. She tells everyone to go to therapy. I think I should write her myself and make the suggestion. So it was my therapist's suggestion that as I start this new journal that is not microscopic, that I try to put one thing that I'm grateful for. And I know we spoke a couple weeks ago about my anti-gratitude list.
Yeah.
So it's like I like to put a negative spin on even the nicest things.
Right.
But so it's like, yes, I will try. And that doesn't have to be some grand thing.
Right.
You know, it could be like my shoes were comfortable today or the line at the bank was short.
Yeah.
You know, and then some days it could be, you know, like I got to snuggle with the dog or my friend really loves me and listened to me.
Yeah.
You know, I would say to start the year off positive. Start the year off honest. If there's stuff that's bothering, if there's stuff that's negative, if there's all that kind of stuff, I can just be mired in it or I can accept this is what it is.
Right.
And it sucks.
Right.
I don't have to say, oh, these things that are bothering me, I just can't let them bother me. No, they bother you.
Right.
They bother me. I say, this is what this is.
Right.
I don't have to be the perfect happy person. Positive doesn't mean happy. It doesn't even mean gung-ho or whatever.
Right.
But if you just have an honest conversation with yourself, with someone, with your therapist, with my therapist, she's quite good. Why don't I give out her name and phone number? TMZ's like, let's get all the dirt on Lori Beth. And they're like, really? And they go, yeah, it's been a really slow news year. We've sunk all the way down to old Nickelodeon stars. But to start the year positive, you know, I might even suggest doing an anti-gratitude list, as we said.
Yeah, I love that idea.
That puts everything out there, puts it on paper. And if I can look at that and just say, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm not supposed to be able to fix everything. I'm not supposed to be perfect because this bothers me, because I'm still angry at my ex. That doesn't make me a bad person. It makes me human and or fixated. And we'll discuss that with my therapist. But, you know, starting off positive is, it could, see, this is what I do. I take something positive and I put a negative spin on it. Because all I'm thinking is that there are, who's this?
This is Bandy Bear 22.
The Bandy Bear 22 is like, feeling shitty about stuff and like, well, how do I be positive?
Right.
And it's like, if that's the situation, if that's my situation, I just go, you know what? This is it.
Yeah.
This is my life right now.
It is.
And every day I choose not to kill myself, I can do a little better if I try.
Yeah.
And this is so simplistic, but if there's a closet that needs to be cleaned out, clean out the closet.
Yeah.
That will make you feel really good.
Yeah.
It will get stuff done. You will definitely find things that you've been looking for 10 years.
True. Oh my God, that's true.
But also when you do something like that, every time you then open that closet, you'll get that feeling of, for me, it's relief. When I finally clean something up, it's like, oh, and it's like, that's not constantly on my mind about how I should be doing that. I need to get that done. It bothers me and I haven't and blah, blah, blah. So if you do a simple thing like, and it's not necessarily simple, but clean out a closet.
My garage has been chaotic. Chaotic. I have so much shit. I have way too much shit. You know that.
I do.
There's too much stuff in this house. And then when we're cleaning, it all kind of gets pushed into the garage. I spent a couple of weeks cleaning out that garage, and I swear to God, I feel happier every time I walk in there now because it's not this burden that's looming over my head.
Yep.
It's a constant reminder of, thank God I finished that.
Yes.
And that's a great thing. That's a great way to cheer yourself up.
Yeah.
Very naturally.
And Clark does go into his garage quite often.
Yes.
Anytime he wants to get in his car.
I have to get in the
so
garage.
The same with, if you're going to go into the kitchen cabinets
Yeah.
that you've rearranged, you're going to see them a lot.
Yes.
It's like, to do something for yourself.
Yes.
Which, of course, translates to like, go get a mani-pedi, go get a this.
Right.
But no, the whole, like, something really for yourself that will improve your day-to-day.
Yes.
That you can be proud of.
Yeah, if you had a list of things that you could accomplish and could fix and could do, and you can check off a box a week, a month, every 2 months, whatever. It doesn't matter if you're incredibly busy and you only have the time to do it once every 3 months. That's still going to make you feel better.
Yeah, and another thing I'd like to add, if you have a friend asked to come over to help you do it.
Yeah.
Then it is a hanging out situation.
Yeah.
It is sometimes I just need, I call it support.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of people call it support. Actually, I call it supervision.
Okay.
Where I'm going to lay on my bed and play on my phone.
Right.
But if someone else has driven all the way over,
Yeah, exactly.
I will feel compelled to do
Actually finish the closet.
And usually they help me as
Right.
well. And so
you find fun stuff. You tell old stories.
Yeah.
I love that.
You tell old stories. I remember when this closet was born.
Let's start this year positive. I like this idea.
Okay.
Let's get some stuff done. Let's remind ourselves every day of like, oh yeah, I cleaned out the fucking garage. This is fucking good. Let's stay positive for as long as we can. But that's it. I'm positive that we're done with the show.
Okay.
Yeah, this was good. This was a fun show. If you're out there, if you have questions, if you need help, please send us your questions. We'd love to answer them. We'd love to let LB ease your burden. You can send your problems at AskLoriBeth.com. You can follow us on all the socials at AskLoriBeth, or you can leave a message with your voice at 1-855-336-2374. That's 1-855-DENBERG or 1-855-Denberg.
And you can find me at LB Denberg on Instagram, at Lori Beth Denberg on Twitter, and at the Lori Beth Denberg fan page on Facebook. You can book me for a personalized video for a friend or foe.
Yeah.
At cameo.com/LoriBeth.
Nice. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Bugs.
Bad Advice stars Lori Beth Denberg and Clark Crozer. The show is produced by me, Jeremy Balon, and part of the Seltzer Kings network. Our theme song is written and performed by Natty Ward. If you or someone you love is in need of some bad advice, you can submit your own question on our socials, all of which are Ask Lori Beth, or on our website at AskLoriBeth.com, or for a nostalgic twist, you can call 1-855-DENBERG. That's right, 1-855-336-2374, and leave your question there. Thanks for listening.